So I'm off to see the wizard again. And I'm always a bit nervous when I start these sessions because I've got no way of knowing what's going to happen. But I'm extra nervous today because there's been some glitch with my account with Baccarat Win Pro, so I can't run away there if I get into trouble. I'm just going to have to, sort of just start a new move to a new table, in other words, if I have to. So the cutoff is if the next bet would be 10,000 or more, and off we go. Double for the loss. Oh dear. 1, 2, third. Well, there we go. Still no turbo. I think it's 1, 2 again, isn't it? I think I'd like to double that. I don't like splitting fours. Everyone says you should do it because it gives you a shot at more double downs and whatever. But it's just not a thing I like much. Okay, so I would have caught an 11 and a whatever. So 5, 4 drop, and the drop better be 1, I think. 6, 4. 6, 4 it is. So if you pulled a 5 up there, I'd have been quite cross. Okay. Double for the loss. Player 22. 1, 2 again. God, this is not really very nice, is it? Yeah. That's just a repeat, isn't it? Dealer 22. But don't tell anyone. +1. 51 second. That was pretty. Don't spoil it. Okay, back to the min. Double for the loss. Eh. 1, 2, third, yet again. 3, 2. I think we better make it a 100 drop again. So 3, 2, 4, 2. 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2 it is. 1, 2. That's 2, 3, isn't it? Don't answer that. 5-6, second. That's a bugger. There we go. Got to be a double, hasn't it? I guess that's +1. Player 22. 51. Double for the push. Hmm. 51. So that's 3-4 third, I believe. 7-4. So that's got to be a 2 drop, I think. Oh, dear. 9-4 after all that. 11-4. 11-4, so 7-8. Did I double down there? Now that should have been. No, I got that wrong. 11-4 should be 9-4. It's too late now. So it's 1-2. That was a boo-boo. 3-4. All right. That's hard work. Oh, very fancy. +1. Rats. Double for the push. Ah, 1-2, I think. Second. Three, four, third. Again. We squeaked it. Squeaking is good. Alexa, stop. What did I just do? I screwed up again, didn't I? I think that's a double down. Okay, let's go back to the men. I messed up there somewhere. +1. Bugger. 51, second. Uh, 3-4, third. Damn, that was hard work. 3, 4, 5, 7, 4, so that's 200 drop. Oh, God. 9, 4. Oh, dear. It's not funny, really, is it? 11, 4. 13, 4. Good God, can't really go wrong, can you, up there? Anyway, 15, 4. What happened? You bust. 15, 4, so that's 13, 4 now, which is not great. 13, 4. Well, we can't go 13, 14, but we can go 13, 8. Now 5, 6. Next one is 11, 12 second. Oh! 11, 12. So it's basically 11, 12 seconds. So it's 2.5, 3, isn't it? Because I could go 2.5, 2.5, but that seems a bit pointless. So 2.5, 3. Well, that got us out of trouble there. I think I'm going to play on because that's a pretty wimpy win. We got beaten up pretty badly there. I mean, 2.5, 3. That's 5,500. But we rescued the winnings and bumped them up to 2,200. So back to the min. Cheeky. Double, or +1 rather. +1. Dealer 22 +1. Double for the push. Ooh. That's a bit clever. I think we're back down to the plus max now. And remember, that's up to you. I prefer not to go above 5 units during a winning streak, but you can do what you want. Okay. So we're going to chase that. That's a bugger, isn't it? Well, we don't double those. Oh, God. All right, so we got that back. So we go back to the min. Double for the loss. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with Bankroll Win Pro. I've always been very friendly with them, and all of a sudden it says it's the first of the month, and it might be something to do with that. I don't know. It's a bit odd. Um, but hey, lots of fun and games here in the Wizard's world. What was that? 51, I suppose. Not dealer 22. Okay. 51, so that's 2, 3, third. Oh, that's just rude. Get out of that. Whoa. Okay, back to the min. Player 22. Double for the loss. 1, 2, third. All right, back to the min. What happened there? I remember me saying back to the min, and I better call that 2, 3. I think I just messed up again. 5, 6, third. Oh, that's not good. 11, 6, so now it's got to be 3. Ouch. It's funny, when it goes slow like that, it always seems like it's absolutely certain. Anyway, that's 14, 6. 14, 6, so that's 11, 6. Back to 11, 6. Eh. I really love to split those, but okay, so 17, 12. Not good, this. 17, 12, so 5, 6. Owie. 11, 12, second. Okie dokie. 23, so that's 2.5. Got to make it 2.5, 3 again, haven't I? Oh, goody. Okay. It's the most important thing is the consistency. No sort of emotional response, no going crazy, no. It's just, and it's like sometimes I get feedback from people where they say, well, it's ridiculous. It's like you're predicting what's coming next. And I'm not. I never do. I mean, I know, as anybody who's studied these things knows, every single bet has a negative expectation. But the important thing is to make sure that if things start to go your way, you have a bet out which will make maximum difference towards your main goal, which is to get out of the hole plus a profit. And it's why it's frustrating for me, whenever I see Vegas Matt and others betting flat throughout a winning streak. It's just sort of like, duh, what are you doing, guys? And it's not that there's any greater possibility of there being, of there being an outcome in your favour just because there have been X number of losses before that. That's not it at all. That's nothing to do with it. It's just a matter of opportunism, having the right bet out at the right time. If, and if is the big word, if things go your way. Because, you have to make the most of winning streaks so that in the end, you win more when you win than you lose when you lose, because you are going to lose more often. And so you have to compensate for that. I mean, you are going to lose more often over time, maybe not in the current session, but over time. And I think in this particular session, we're getting our ass kicked. Anyway, I've forgotten where I am now. I'm going to call it 5/6 second. Oops. All right. No, can't do that. That's cheaty. 5/6 second. Ink. Maybe good, maybe good, maybe good. Dealer 22. I like it. And I'm still going to get people saying, well, you knew it was coming. It's just so ridiculous. Never mind. There's a lot of ridiculousness out there. Mythematics, as I call it. Well, bummer. 51 second. 2, 3, third. Oh, that's a double down. Oh, 2, 3, third. 8, 6. 8, 6. So the drop has to be 2. Oh, 10, 6. Dealer 22. 8, 6 it is. Yeah, with the, taking off when you're in the drop zone, don't deduct 100 or less, but otherwise take off the win from the down and the out, from the down, so that, wow. Anyway, 8, 6. Did I say 8, 6? I'm sure I did. 14, 15. Bummer. Oh, that's nice. Another dealer 22. I mean, anybody who plays those games where they push at the dealer 22, they've got to be mad. Got to be absolutely bonkers. Yeah, the turbo definitely hasn't come back, has it? Repeat. Double down. I think that's back to the min. Double for the loss. Repeat. Bloody hell. Should we stand on 19? Yeah. Oh, God. What was that? So that was a repeat, wasn't it? So 51. I think it was a repeat. Well, some of the tricks this guy pulls, this wizard. Now we're on 2, 3, third. Look at this. Look at this. Five, 3. So that's 100. 5, 3 it is. 8-6 second. Oh boy, 14-15 again. There we go. Happy about that. Well, we're coming to the end of this. It's going to be 25 minutes, so that's pretty long, isn't it? It's a great way to clear a table. I remember once playing, I think it was, what do they call it, Atlantis in Reno, and there was this really kind of like snooty, bombastic, bloody, I know everything about the game of blackjack person who was obviously pissed off that I joined the table and to his left, so that I was getting the first base bets. And he was lecturing me about how to play, and so I just very carefully hit on a soft 20, and he huffed immediately, and off he went. And I actually managed to catch a 10, but that was enough to drive him away. And then the dealer sort of smiles at me and says, "Very smart," stuff like that. And I said, "Well, I'm sorry, but he was rude," you know. And it worked. So, and I got away with it, which is even better. I didn't have very much money out either. It was probably $25 or something like that. But, okay, so what was that? That was so +1. I think we're nearly done here. All right, so we made 4,587. I'll probably run these through the model through Excel because I think that was a pretty punishing couple of shoes. I think that was pretty nasty. I got that sense. I could be wrong. I sometimes am. Anyway, see you later. All right. So to all of you bright sparks out there who say that the Wizard of Oz sim is too easy to beat, or I'm somehow manipulating it, or I've got control of it, or I'm faking it, or whatever. Get over yourselves, guys, because you are talking absolute nonsense. And if you just had the balls to try the damn thing yourselves, you would shut up and realize that that what I'm doing here actually has value in mathematical terms, numerical terms, numerate terms, logical terms, whatever you like. But most important of all, getting across the serious possibility that if you go about it the right way with tons of money behind you and an ironclad betting strategy that you believe in and that you are completely comfortable with and well trained in and sort of like almost robotic in, then you can make money. You know, that's basically what we're all trying to do in casinos if we are amongst the tiny minority of gamblers who don't want to lose. I mean, you watch these guys, these professionals on YouTube, and they all seem determined to throw their money away as if they've got some kind of compact going with the casinos where they're saying to them, "Don't worry, guys, let me film, let me build up an audience, let me make tons of money from Google or AdSense or whatever the hell it is that writes these checks, these big fat checks, and I'll do whatever you want. I'll play like a prat. I'll promote stupid games that nobody should touch if they have any sense at all. I'll do whatever you like. I'll trash progressive betting. I'll demonstrate how stupid the martingale is," and I agree with that, by the way. You know, but I mean, it's hard to understand what they're at. Anyway, here's the situation with this last lot. House edge of over 15%, right? So I mean, I think if I was rigging this damn thing, I would deal myself a couple of shoes that are a bit friendlier than that. 40 wins, 59 losses. Average win, 1,263. This is for the algorithm for Algae. Average loss, 593. average win over average loss 213%. A win of action 15% against a 15.4 house edge. All pretty good. The one thing I have to say about the algorithm page here is that it's set for high rolling, basically. There is a reality of high roller betting, and that is that when you get to the closing stages, to the turnaround point with a recovery series, then you're not going to fall back from a $10,000 bet to a $200 bet to round out to turn around the series. You're going to repeat the large bet. You won't increase it, but you will repeat it. So that's how that's set up currently. Interestingly, the win for the high roller approach is 15,500, which, as I said, is 15%. Blah 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 blah. These are this. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is the actual value. So there were hardly any relief. There was some up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I always used to say to people, you know, if you don't believe in patterns, just imagine what would happen if it was just relentlessly. If we pulled on this bit of red string here and pulled it out so that it was straight, it would come all the way down here somewhere, wouldn't it? It would be ridiculous. But that's not how these games are. They wouldn't be able to get anybody to play if that was the rhythm or the pattern or the tempo of these games. It's not. The tempo looks like this. The rhythm, the pattern, whatever you want to call it, it looks like this. And you can see in this particular chart here, you can see that the house was way ahead. We had, Algie had a couple of little bursts here, but by and large, it was, kick-ass time for the for the dealer, and it was seriously nasty. But anyway, we go down to the real play, which is what I did in the session that you've just seen, with all the outcomes that you've just looked at, or not. Lots of people don't bother to look at them, but that's your privilege, so I don't care. I just do this as accurately as I can for the one or two people on the entire face of the earth who care about upping their game and learning how to beat negative expectation. So anyway, where are we? Algae made 15,500, 15%. Exposure was 11,450. Bluffin' Bob, no, that's not who it is. That's real Algae. So we'll call this real play. Okay, and that should change everywhere. Bum, 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 ba-dum, dum. You can see basically the story. It was 11.7% for real play. And interestingly, this is showing a lower total than the Wizard Sim did at the end. It's about 400 short, I think. It could be that I've made a mistake in here at some point with the bets, but I don't mind winning less, just so long as you get the picture, so long as you get the idea. This is how it was. I mean, rounds 1 to 21, we were looking at an overall house edge of 38%, and we still managed to squeak out a hold of 7.3%. And then the next set is 1 to 42, 16.7%. So coming down a bit on the house's side, but still we held on to 12.4% of our action. And then down here, a little bit of a drop to 15.9% for the house. We held on to 11.7%. And well, I don't need to recite all these. You can figure it out easy enough. But that's the story basically. I think maybe no, that's right. So I have to leave that alone. I'll just accept it, and I hope you will too. It's if I was cheating, I think I would have rigged it or fiddled with it so that there was a bigger number up there. But that's not what I'm about at all. All I'm about is just trying to say to people, come on, random betting against random outcomes cannot work logically, sensibly, mathematically, numerically. whatever. It just can't be done, because random betting essentially is the same as flat betting. And I remember once being given a lecture by one of these mathematicians who spoil it for all of us with all the crap that they spew out about negative expectation and how progressive betting is suicide and all that sort of thing. And he wagged his finger at me and he said, now then, if you understood mathematics, if you understood anything about numbers, you would know that every bet, no matter the size, faces the same negative expectation, which means, dummy, and that was just not said, but implied, I should say, sorry, that was entirely the wrong word, implied, you're an idiot. If it's 5,000, then every 5,000 will bet, blah, 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 blah. Well, random betting, if you're betting randomly, that's absolutely true. But if you're not betting randomly, then what happens is that bigger bets come simply because the house advantage has gone far beyond what you might consider to be normal. Now, for blackjack, the normal house advantage is somewhere below 1% in the house's favour, right? It's actually much higher than that because of the stupidity of players. They actually managed to pull in somewhere around 13 to 14% as a win of the total churn or the total action over the course of a whole year on thousands of blackjack tables, So it runs out at about 13%. Every so often I put the latest numbers up on one of these things, and I might do that this time just for the hell of it. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to get across is that if you bet randomly, then yes, what he's saying is true. But because your chances of winning theoretically are a little bit better, you don't know exactly when the wins are coming, but what you do know is that if the house is 15% ahead, then there's going to be an offset. It may not be total, it may not even be substantial, and it may not come for a while. But as the bets increase in value, you know that the house edge is running riot because that's what pushes the bets up, right? So even though you can't predict when the wins are going to come that offset this ridiculous sort of anomalous house edge, temporary house edge, you need to be sure that you have as much money out as you can afford to put out in order for the wins that are coming to do to provide the maximum benefit in your quest, which is quite simple. You want to turn around with a little bit of a profit. So you want to get all your prior losses back plus a little bit more. No need to be greedy, no need to be stupid, but you want a little bit more, especially if it's been a whole long, hard, desperate kind of fight against real shit cards, as is the case here. Then you deserve a little bit more. And in my case here, I mean, we had 775 there and 100, 150, 125, 840, 325. These are the turnaround wins. And that's in part, of course, because I round up. I mean, the important thing to do is obviously when you're in 25s, then you work in increments of 25. As soon as you move into hundreds, you work in increments of 100. As soon as you get into 500s, 500s, and you get the picture, right? So that's what it's all about. But anyway, now I'm rabbiting on again for 11 minutes. So I'm going to stop and just say, that is the story. Even, playing this sort of like high roller approach here, down 11,450, and then wham, straight up to whatever the hell that is there. Oh, come on, show me again. There we go, 14,175. And then apart from these two big drops, no major threats, But what you have to do is you have to have a lot of money behind you. You have to have the confidence to put it out there when required by the strategy. And of course, that means you have to believe in the strategy. You have to be completely invested mentally as well as financially in the realities of the numbers that are behind all of these games. And just to take you back down, I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's a horror story. There were what? Two decent player runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nasties in favour of the house. So the volatility in this particular sample was horrible, but I'm grateful for it because it helps me make my point. Just don't even think about trying any of these games with a limited bankroll. Don't be stupid like Vegas Matt and Mr. Handpay and all the rest of it and go up to a table sort of like your cock of the walk and say, well, okay, buy-in is 30,000, and then be betting in 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 a time. That's no spread at all. So if you hit real rough weather, then your bankroll is going to be gone before you can even think what to do. Of course, most of these guys don't think. They just keep piling it in because they're looking for drama. They're looking to excite people. And I will never get the appeal of gambling as a spectator sport, but that's obviously because I've got a screw loose. I mean, there's millions of people out there who keep watching this crap and raving about it and talking about these, as they call them, content providers, as if they're heroes. They're not. They are very, very bad role models. And I'm not doing much to counter their ill effects because I've got an audience of, if I'm lucky, I'll get a couple of dozen, but I don't care. As long as one or two people actually get hold of this and start thinking, and they get, okay, I can't afford to play these games. I know that it's a waste of time without a lot of money behind me, so I'm going to do something else with my time. I'm going to take up fishing or parasailing or whatever, and not think about gambling anymore until I hit the lottery, whatever. I mean, I guess people who hit the lottery then don't give a shit about going to Las Vegas or wherever, do they? But there you are. So that's it. And I will tack on the latest numbers just for the fun of it from Nevada, which was my old stamping ground. So great fondness for Nevada, but not a great fondness for Las Vegas because it's built on bullshit. And the bullshit just keeps piling up, with all of the stuff that these content providers keep hurling at YouTube, and also people like Dana White with this crap about winning over $1 million every night for 23 nights in a row. I mean, God, how stupid does he think we are? Well, very stupid, obviously. Anyway, next time.